Hello everybody and welcome to today's edition of the Shulchan Aruch, chapter Siman Kuf Peites, chapter 189, Hilchot Perika Ut Ina, laws of unloading and loading. Number 1. If you meet your neighbor on the road and his animal is lying underneath his load, whether it's burdened with a proper load for it or it was burdened with a load that was too heavy for it, it's written to assist him to unload the burden, as it is said, you shall surely help him in Exodus 23:5. After you have helped unload the burden, you should not leave your neighbor in distress and go on your way, but you should help him reload it. As it is said, you shall surely help him lift it up again. In Deuteronomy 22:4. But if you leave your neighbor and did not help him in loading and unloading, you have neglected to perform an affirmative command and have transgressed a negative command, as it is said, you shall not see the donkey of your neighbor or his ox fallen down by the way and conceal yourself. And that's from the same source, Deuteronomy 22:4. Number 2, if after you helped unload and reload, the animal fell down again, you must help, unload and reload again, even 100 times, as it is said, you shall surely help, and you shall surely help him lift it up. Therefore, you must go with him at a distance of a parsa. So, just quickly to the glossary, the distance of a parsa. A parsa is, there's different opinions, but the leading view of Rabbi Moshe Feinstein is 2.7 miles, 14,167 feet, 4.31 kilometers, and the Chazon Ish is slightly longer, 2.8 miles, 15,134 feet, 4.62 kilometers. He might need your help again, unless the owner of the load tells you, I no longer need your help. Number 3, the unloading must be done gratis, but you are not obliged to reload unless he is willing to compensate you, and he must also compensate you for accompanying him. Number 4, if the animal belongs to a non-Jew, and the non-Jew is driving the animal, whether the load belongs to a Jew or belongs to a non-Jew, you are only obliged to help unload because of the suffering of the animal, and you may receive compensation for it. But you are not at all obliged to help him reload unless it would cause animosity. If the non-Jew is not present and the Jew drives the animal, you must also help him reload because of the distress of the Jew. If the animal belongs to a Jew and the load belongs to a non-Jew, you are obliged to help him unload and reload because of the distress of the Jew. Number 5. It is written in Exodus 23:5. Excuse me. If you see the donkey of your enemy under its burden, etc., enemy does not refer to a non-Jew, they are not included in the command regarding loading and unloading, once the animal suffered, but it refers to a Jew. And how can a Jew hate another Jew, since the Torah states, you shall not hate your brother in your heart, because 19:17. The sages said, for instance, if you actually saw him transgress the law and warned him against it, and he did not desist, then the mitzvah to hate him until he repents. See Mesachet Pesachim 113b, and abandons his wickedness, even though he is not yet repented, and if you find him in distress on account of his load, it's mitzvah to help him unload and reload and not leave him without help, for he may stay there out of concern for his money and may endanger his life. The Torah is concerned regarding Jewish lives, whether they are wicked or righteous, so as long as they cleave to Hashem and believe in the principal tenets of our religion, as it is said, say to them, as I live, says Hashem Elokim, I do not desire the death of the wicked, but that the wicked turn away, then must wait and live. And that's from Ezekiel 33:11. Number 6, if a group was traveling together and it happened to one of them that the legs of his donkey became lame, the other members of the group are not permitted to depart with their donkeys and leave him alone on the road. However, if his donkey fell down and is unable to continue the journey, they are permitted to leave him and need not tarry for the sake longer than reasonable. Also, a group traveling in vehicles, if one of them broke down and requires a short time to repair, the rest of the group are not permitted to depart from him unless to be detained beyond a reasonable amount of time. Thank you for listening, and wish you all the best and peace in Israel.